We are living in a hard economic time where most organizations are downsizing the labor force as a strategy to build on profit. This strategy leaves many without a job. Other people voluntarily leave their job for various reasons, such as starting of a business. Linda advises for anyone venturing in any type of entrepreneurship, they should first and foremost find something that they are totally sold out, as this will keep one going during hard times.
For anybody who's looking for a job or who has lost a job, I would tell them that you have to look for something that you truly love to do. Because nothing is simple. Even the farming has its own challenges, and the only thing that will make you wake up tomorrow and try again is if you truly love what you're doing. And also look for something outside finances also. Because when I first looked for my job, all I wanted to do was get paid. And then I was in this, I came into this, to the workplace after in the Kibaki era, and everybody was like, you know, Kenya has changed. We don't need godfathers anymore. Anybody who gets good education will get a job. But I know that's not what's on the ground. It's a bit different. So tell somebody, before you chase the money, chase what you love first, and then the money follows. Even where I am right now, I still don't have the amount of money I want. But I know my opportunities are limitless. It's not like my job, I had a ceiling. I wouldn't pass that specific ceiling of the salary unless, I don't know what happened, a miracle. But in farming, opportunity is limitless, even in terms of the money you earn is limitless. If I can sell one sweet potato at 1 shilling, why not produce 1 million of them? Why not produce 2 million of them? But it requires strategy, it requires purpose, and it has to be deliberate efforts.
Looking at initial capital of starting farming for any person thinking about farming, Linda advises that even though the starting investment is quite hefty, the day-to-day running of the farm is much easier. The capital requirements revolves around the machinery requirements and acquiring of land, whether leasing or buying.
First of all, farming is not like magic, that you just start farming and then you make the money that I see printed on newspapers. And other people saying, oh, you can earn 1 million from an acre. I haven't heard that yet. Maybe it's out there, but I still haven't heard that yet. From me, several things to consider on how much you need. Where are you getting the land from? Are you buying it? Are you leasing it? If it's bought, of course, it will be more expensive. If it's leasing, you approximate an average of the 3,000 that my partner said. So you have to do the math. For a year, let's say it's about 120K to lease an acre of land. What about the machinery that I need? You need machinery, like right here we have diesel pumps. You need to buy the diesel pump, you need to buy the piping, you need to buy an extra machine, because when it breaks down, you will be in a very bad position. So for me, the initial cost of production is very high, but the day-to-day running of the farm is a bit comfortable for us. Let me say, I won't talk for everyone, because every day-to-day, like a daily worker here, ranges from 350 to 500 depending on what they are doing. After the initial capital, you need about 60K to maintain an acre to production, after the initial capital. And that's where the pressure is at, the initial capital. You know, for us, it's gradual. As I had told you, I started in 2016. So I bought the machinery then, the pipes then. So right now we joined together to lease the land and do the land preparation. If it's something like land preparation here for a tractor, it's 5,000 to do the plowing and the harrow. You see, that's why I'm saying, once you do the initial capital, budget about 60K for the maintenance. But I wouldn't be able to approximate the initial capital for anyone, because it's different everywhere. Yes. And then it also matters, how far are you from the river? Because of the piping you need from the river, the kind of machine you need. If you're far away, you need a more powerful machine than if you're closer. Are you going to use maybe gravity to irrigate? You see, there are so many options to check, but it is doable.
Besides farming, Linda and Wawera are also giving back to the community through leadership training to the young people in order to build their capacity to hold up in the job market as well as in other aspects of their lives.
Other than farming, we also do a lot of human rights activism, especially on youth, women and children. And we are really teaching especially the youth on the civic education, because you realize that as much as we want them to farm, to engage in other things, unless they also understand the processes that influence how they get into these spaces, then it will be difficult for them. Leadership means a lot, and we are really encouraging the women, the youth, the children, that they must be part and process of making sure that things go the right way, that they have to stand and talk for themselves.
The land has been divided into different blocks to ensure continuous production. In one of the blocks, which is a few weeks to harvesting, Linda takes us through some of the natural strategies they are using to mitigate pests and diseases.
Some of the main pests that we have to watch out for is the sweet potato weevil. The sweet potato weevil essentially pierces the skin of the sweet potato, and then it lays larvae in the sweet potato, causing the sweet potato to become unmarketable, and also multiplication of the sweet weevil can lead to destruction of your production to up to 45%. So one of the ways we mitigate it is by healing. What I mean by healing is you come to the sweet potato plant and then you heap it with a lot of soil, make it go as high as possible. So with this kind of method, the weevil won't be able to pierce through burrow through the soil and get to the sweet potato. So those are some of the strategies we use. Another thing is to look for the caterpillar. When you look at this leaf, you'll see it's been eaten by the caterpillar. We don't like spraying pesticides because we want to go as organic as possible. So one of the things you have to do is scout. We have partitioned the land into 2 acres. This is our first block. This is block A, which we planted in September, and we expect to start harvesting in January or late December this year. After this block, when you look at it, it's 2 acres in size. After this block, we will go to the next block that we have. We are experimenting with intercropping maize and sweet potatoes so that we see whether the production will be affected or not.
Linda also points out some of the damages incurred during healing, which is injuring the tuber. She also has insightful pointers to farmers regarding spraying of their crops.
We are used to spraying at intervals, like maybe we know I have to spray in 2 weeks, so in 2 weeks, without even coming to check the plant health, we just spray. That's another mistake that we farmers make, and it is essential to cut cost, to make sure we don't eat a lot of pesticides. First scout, see what am I fighting for, what am I spraying against, before just spraying automatically. Another thing also, it is essential to keep the field as clean as possible, because that's why the pests hide. You can see, and of course you have to get some damages. Look at this potato here. While we were healing, there was some slight damage to it. This is inevitable. We have to get some damages to some extent. It is inevitable. And we are also a bit late. When you look at this, you can also find, you see there are some roots. These were cut when we were healing. And that's because we delayed a little bit when healing. From the experience we've seen so far, it is important to heal after 2 months maximum. Don't go beyond the 2 months timeline. If you can heal earlier to avoid such kind of damage. We still don't know how much damage we did, but we did some damage, but we have done a lot more good by the healing. We want to avoid pesticides as much as possible because our product, we want it to be healthy and we want it to truly be beneficial to our consumers. And also another thing that most people don't realize, you can eat the leaf. These are vegetables. You can karanga it kama sukuma wiki, ukule na ugali. It's very healthy. The vitamin level of sweet potato is very high, and there's something else they're calling beta carotene. I don't know, I'm not a nutritionist, but very good for your health. So please try, and when you're adding managu terere to your sukuma wiki, please cut some of these leaves and also use it. What they say from the literature that I've read, I have not done it practically, but they say come and cut the vines. When you cut all the vines and then you leave the sweet potato in the soil, it creates, the skin hardens and it will last as long as 6 months. We have not tried that yet. We will try that to see whether we can truly store sweet potatoes for up to 6 months if we leave it in the soil. And that is, you pray that it doesn't rain. So it's a bit risky. We haven't tried that yet, but the literature says when you cure the plant, it can last up to 6 months.
The duo have also practiced intercropping of maize and sweet potatoes on different blocks. They share more with us on some of the advantages, which include maximizing use of land.
So this is the block B, again another 2 acres. Here we descended to intercrop maize and sweet potatoes. We did it sometimes in late October. That is why it's not like the block A. And the reason we tried intercropping is to see if the maize will have any effect, negative effect on the sweet potato production. If it affects it negatively, of course, we'll not intercrop again. But from the agronomists we have been talking to, they are saying it is okay, and that the maize will over shade to the sweet potatoes. Again, you remember we do a lot of irrigation, so we are hoping that if we can intercrop and also make an extra coin, it will be good for us. What we have noted with Block B, by the way, is the fact that from the experience of the Block A, we are not doing a lot of gapping. Like you can see, we have gapped, but it's not as much as we did it in Block A. That is something we learned.
Our farm tour was not without some drama, as some of the workers saw a snake which probably had come out from its hiding to get some sunshine. Linda shared some incentives used to motivate their workers, such as making them comfortable by providing materials, also not delaying payments.
Feel that they also needed to have something, so we give to them the 1 acre. They work on it, they plant maize, they harvest, it's theirs. We have leased, but we just give it to them also as a way of motivation and to make sure that they can also come up.
Finally, we see the seed bed where they do seed propagation and preparation of the planting material.
Nafanya kukata hizi vines zikuwe dogo kiasi zenye ziko refu, ndio wakati zinapandwa kule inaweza kuwa ni simple kuhado na kupanda pale kwa shamba.
For anyone interested in getting in touch with Linda and Wawera, Linda shares their contacts through which you can reach out.
Anybody who is interested in our products can reach us via our Facebook page, which is Mali and Sweet Potatoes, or you can visit our bakery that is located at Majimbo along the main highway, or you can reach us on our number, which is 0723 047 866. We'll be happy to hear from you.
As we come to the end of the show, Wawera displays to us some chapatis she made from 50% sweet potatoes pure and 50% wheat flour.
The color you see is majorly the color of the sweet potato, the yellow one. So you can see how good it is, and people are loving it. It's very nutritious, it's very soft. When I give you this one to taste, I'm not sure you will go back to Nairobi.
That's all we had for you on today's episode of Mizizi. See you again next week, the same time.